What adjustments would you make if you were the 49ers defensive coordinator?
If I had to make any adjustments, I wouldn't change anything,
Okay.
honestly. And I know that sounds like a quick answer, but uh, we're playing with a lot of confidence,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of confidence. We've lost a lot of people on this team. We lost two corners. We haven't, for people don't realize this, but Javon Kinlaw was supposed to be our guy this year. He hasn't been available. I thank God that we just got back Eric Armstead, but really the interior of our defense, there was a time where that's how we lost against Atlanta. Let's just be real. Teams were running, they were moving us internally, and our linebackers couldn't.
And the
go
Niners
over
D
top.
line got tired and they were thin and they just got worn down
He
over
couldn't
the
stop
game.
the
Yeah.
ball. Yeah.
No.
And I think that with what this defense has gone through, with the injuries that they've gone through, with the youth that they have on this team, Hufunga's a second-year guy. Demo is a second-year guy?
Yeah.
Second-year guy. We have guys coming off of the street helping us on the interior line. We just got Eric Armstead back. I feel like you don't. If the sum of all parts is we're still the number one defense in the league, you don't make swaths of changes because you played a talented Las Vegas team. I can see if this team was bad, but they're a good team.
Can I suggest some small changes?
Sure.
So tell me what you think. So, like, yesterday I was thinking, man, Hufunga's really struggling. You got to bench him and put Ward back to safety. That would be a big change. I'm trying to think of, like, a compromise here. What about on third downs when you want to play single high coverage and you want one safety in the box, either playing, like, a shallow zone or man-to-man coverage? Put Hufunga at single high, which is not what they've been doing, and get Gibson down in the box, because teams are getting, the way I see it is teams are getting Hufunga to aggressively bite on shallow stuff and taking advantage of it over the top. Well, put him deep. He can still be a playmaker deep. He may give up fewer long catches that way. What do you think?
I actually like that.
It could work. It could work.
Yeah, because he can run and he can see everything coming.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be caught off guard, and he would have clear rules being the only guy back there. There wouldn't be anything confusing.
I don't know how Gibson would do in that role, but I think I
don't know. Yeah, exactly. Because the only reason is that when I look at our team, the first thing I do is I humble myself and understand that there's a reason why these guys are where they are on the field.
Of course.
Right?
Of course. Yeah.
So, we're
gonna do it all differently, guys. You're winning 9 in a row. No. Small tweaks.
Yeah, like just by example, I feel like one of the reasons why Jimmy is also at nickel is for the run game as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very good. That's why you could never throw. You lose a lot in the run game if you put somebody like Demo or Womack in there. They're not as stout in the run game, and they're not going to really keep integrity back there. And also, a lot of stuff that teams do against us because they're scared of our D-line is they try to get the ball out quick. Yep. So if you look at a lot of Jimmy's turnovers that he gets is byproduct of him being able to take advantage of what that D-line is doing. That's a lot of those picks. So
that's true.
You don't really want to waste all of those mistakes happening so close to the line of scrimmage with your least talented and least experienced players in those positions.
That's fair. All right, I got another one I want to ask you, because I think we agree on the secondary, but I think the last question is, and there's no necessarily one answer, but how do you keep the freaking mobile quarterback in the pocket? I'm sure there's a million different ways, and every defensive coach has another thing they like to do, but I think it couldn't hurt for DeMeco to have just some ideas that he could go to, some change-ups. What would you suggest?
I think that's there already. Don't
rush past the quarterback from the DN spot. Don't do that.
I think that their lane integrity, how they stay stout as far as rushing the passer. I think that's built in the defense. I think when you see mistakes with our defense, it's not necessarily what's missing, but it's what's breaking down, right? I think that our defense is a sound system. It's sound, right?
Yes.
From top to bottom, which means that if something is sound, that means that it can incur anything. It can take on any type of attack. So if we do have a quarterback that rushes, I'm not here to say the quarterbacks aren't going to get yards against our defense. they're going to get yards against our defense. But that's just the lesser of two evils if you really want to be that physical that day.
But to me though, like this, when you say it's a sound defense, yeah, but I feel like this is the kryptonite. And I feel like it's been like the Niners. I feel like have had the same defensive philosophy going back to Vic Fangio. They've had the same scouts going back to freaking Trent Baalke and the dude before him, like
Seattle.
Like there's a reason that Russell Wilson is 17-4 against the 49ers. That's their kryptonite. The dude who gets out of the pocket and throws deep. And so to me, the Niners are built to rush 4. And they're built to just destroy pocket quarterbacks, but they're not necessarily built to destroy mobile quarterbacks. And to me, real quick, against a mobile quarterback, I like rushing 5 strategically because when you rush 4, there's always a gap that you can theoretically scramble through. You don't have to go out the back of the other. You can go through one of the gaps. When you rush 5, there's no gap. Theoretically, if you have gap integrity.
We do that though. We just don't get home sometimes. Of course.
It's true.
We just don't get home.
I'd like to see it more. Yeah.
Yeah. I see a lot of times where we do send Talanoa. We send them. You know what I'm saying? Or we send Lenore. Even earlier in the season, we were really coming early in the season, but we were really doing our thing earlier in the season. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like go ahead. Go ahead. I've seen the nuances in our defense since we lost E-Man. When we had E-Man, that is our defense.
No doubt.
No doubt. That aggressive defense where we are letting those guys stand on islands and we're going to go get the quarterback and we're holding down the middle of the field. Like, that's our defense. I feel like even more so, DeMeco Ryans' performance as a defensive coordinator is almost underrated because a lot of defenses wouldn't be able to perform like this with the level of guys that we've lost and the guys that we're just starting to get back.
Yep. With Saleh, his predecessor, I feel like the thing that really sold me on him, he came in as this, Seattle defense kind of guy, rush 4, play zone, and I don't really like that style that much. It's very conservative, and by the end, I really loved his pressure packages. His 5-man pressures I thought were really creative and effective, and I think that's a big reason why he eventually became a head coach because he kind of showed that he could evolve beyond what he had inherited as a scheme. And I think DeMeco has excellent 5-man pressures as well. I think he just needs to use them a little bit more, or doesn't need to, but against mobile quarterbacks he could. It's a good way to keep him in the pocket. You don't even necessarily call him to get the pressure, just to keep him, to create a freaking cage. You can't leave unless you try to back out, and if you do, we got speed. You're not going to beat Ebukam to the edge or Bosa. No. It's not going to happen.
No, I don't think that's going to happen at all. I really believe in. I just honestly, the defense needs a break. I'm gonna say it. The defense needs a break.
That's fair.
If we're just looking at it from a building perspective, they need a break. And I feel like the reason why, you hear the offensive guys talking, but Nick Bosa doesn't really talk as much, but these guys are really talking about the offense. And I feel like one of the reasons why they're talking about the offense is because they're being able to give up 30 points and rely on their offense and shut down a good. I'm gonna be honest with you. They don't show it all mic'd up, but if there's a defense that stops somebody and your offense is blowing points, they're pissed.
Yeah.
They're gonna slap your butt and tell you that, we'll get it back next time. But after a while, they're looking at each other like, these motherfuckers need to do something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
So,
yeah. Yep. All right. Well, that was a good show. I'm just really disappointed in the Cardinals. Man, it's a league of parity, and you couldn't keep it together. Like 4-12. Thanks a lot. Thanks for giving us nothing to talk about, but we did good. We found other things, and next week we got the freaking playoffs. You think
Cardinals hurt us?
They might get this bye week. I think they could use it. You just mentioned their defense needs it. Well, yeah, they could really. If they get this bye week, their chances of winning the Super Bowl to me get way better.
If they get the bye week, all bets are off.